Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Picture Shows and Petticoats.
Yay!
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Elizabeth.
So we are here to discuss the Downton Abbey Series 5 Christmas special.
That's right. The big finale in the US of A.
Yes. First reaction, I gotta know. What's your just first reaction to the whole thing?
I loved it. It was amazing. It was absolutely fabulous. It was rich, it was beautiful, and it left a lot of open doors for season 6.
I think that maybe this finale did a better job of that than any of the other ones. And even with there being no huge cliffhangers, just lots of open doors and lots of paths that could be taken. So I think it was great. Oh, yeah, it was wonderful. It was so good. And okay, full disclosure, Jennifer knows, but maybe the viewing public does not. I had already seen the full season because I ordered the DVDs and they arrived, and I have no self-control at all. So I binged through those in a weekend, and so I already knew what was happening here at the end, and I think I did a pretty good job of not letting on, right?
You did. You were very self-controlled. I would not have been.
Well, stone-faced, wasn't gonna. But when you asked me if this finale was a, Matthew dead on the side of the road finale, I was like, no, it's not that kind of finale. It's a happy finale.
Yes, it's very happy. Which, yeah, I'm always about the happy. Me and Sullivan's Travels.
It makes, I don't know, it's just so great to have a nice happy ending to a show like this because I think it tends to not go that way. But yeah, it's just a really great episode, and I don't know if we just want to hit on some of the high points. My favorite is definitely the end. I mean, they deal with some drama, toward the beginning, and some new characters are introduced, and I'll be interested to see how many of these guys show up again. But, yeah. So we start off with everybody heading off to the grouse hunt.
The grouse hunt in Northumberland, I believe you said?
Yeah, did a little research. That's a rented castle. That's not their primary residence. So,
that must be nice. I would like to say about a place that I'm going, it's not my primary residence.
Yeah. Hey, you could rent a castle. There are rent-a-castles. So.
Like Highclere?
Well, I mean, I don't know about that one. I mean, yeah, did you look at the room that you could stay in there? It didn't look very impressive to me.
No, I didn't look at specifics. I just saw that it was available at certain times for a certain amount.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Do I hear a cuckoo clock?
Yes, you do. You do.
Oh, boy. Well, so, I don't know. Let's talk about some of the men folk that we got introduced to up there at that grouse hunt.
Oh, yes. Please, let's talk about that.
Now, I didn't catch either of their names, but clearly we've got a love interest possibly, for both Mary and Edith.
Yes.
And I didn't even catch that the first time around. I guess I wasn't paying attention, and because I don't really care that much about Edith, but I care even less about Mary. But, Edith looks like she's setting her sights, maybe just opening up to the possibility of, because I think she's been shut down for so long since Gregson has been gone, and now she knows he's dead. But it's kind of nice to see her open up and think about possibilities.
Right. Right. She's had a big secret she's got to keep, and life she's got to work out, and newspaper she's responsible for, and yeah, she's had a little bit on her plate.
Yeah.
But I'm digging the idea of a double wedding. I can just see how
Oh, come on.
Mary would love that. I think it would be her dream come true if she could have a double wedding with her sister.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but I don't
But
know.
if
Times
but
are
if
tough. Maybe they need to save a little money on flowers.
That's right. Well, if Tom has his way, he will find a way to get the two of those girls together. The way he was working his magic at the end there.
I was so hoping for something else with Tom. Like I don't know. I don't know if I want him with Edith or Mary, but I just wanted something else for him. Do you think he'll be back?
Tom, well, I hadn't thought that he would be, but the way Lord Grantham, his dialogue was written at the end, he sure did leave the door wide open.
I'll have to
So,
look into that, see what the actor's plans are. See if he's coming back.
that and, Mary's new love interest, which of course he's not officially proclaimed as one, but I'm proclaiming him as one. He is definitely I'm already giving him a thumbs up, and I don't even know what the guy's name is. But he is a land agent, so he could fill both sets of shoes at once.
I think he might be really good for her.
Well, anybody whose name is not Gillingham is going to be great for her.
Now,
I'm super excited.
I didn't even catch his name. Did you?
I think they used it very briefly. I've got IMDb up. I could look. But I think, was it Emily? She tweeted at us that...
Oh, yeah, it's Matthew Good.
Matthew Good.
The actor, who's been in a lot of stuff. He's been around for a long time.
And he's just lovely.
Let's
Let's see.
His eyes are an icy blue.
Ah! I was just thinking he had the perfect sort of stature for it.
Well, I mean, like he's pretty much like, he looks like he's like chiseled out of marble. His face. Look at those cheekbones. He's like really well constructed in the face.
It's a very different character from the one he played in Death Comes to Pemberley.
Yeah, I had bad feelings about that. So.
I did too, which is why I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think the people in wardrobe and hair and makeup, and they just do such a wonderful job on Downton. It's like they're just able to make them so special. Each character is so special.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, his name on Downton is Henry Talbot.
Okay.
Henry.
Think she'll call him Harry? I bet she'll call him Harry.
She'll just say, "Hey, you," and crook her little finger, and he'll just come running like she always does. Hopefully, he'll get the upper hand. But I can't see her getting behind the wheel of a racing car and getting her hair all messed up.
Oh man, didn't you just see her reaction to that? Like, I didn't know what it would be. I mean, clearly it was shock, but I didn't know if that would make her kind of turn around, walk back in the house.
The Bob is in jeopardy.
Yeah. How long has Matthew been dead now? Goodness, George looks, what, like 3 or 4? 3? I don't know.
That's a good question. See, and for some reason I thought we were in 1934, but we're in 1924.
Yeah. Not 34.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some time.
The 20s are still roaring.
This series went significantly slower through time than the other ones have. And good, because they can't keep aging their people, 5-10 years forward without, they're not looking the age that they're already not looking the age that they're supposed to be. Goodness, what is Mary right now? If we started this in 1912, because she was already a little bit too, wasn't she a little bit, according to them, past her prime or something? She needed to get married.
Oh, okay. So she's working on late 30s.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She has such a fresh face.
Mm-hmm.
She's not one of those women who's gonna age very much anyway. Lucky girl.
Oh, well,
I guess they could paint wrinkles on her.
maybe.
They could say, "Here, have a cheeseburger."
Yeah. Oh, well, we have the happy couple as well. Rose and Atticus are the sweetest thing. They're so in love with each other.
They're adorable. It's like the two happy idiots have finally found each other.
They're
And I'm so happy for them. She would be what I put in my my recaps on my blog was that, she thinks she'd be right for anybody.
Mhm.
So it doesn't matter who she's with, she's going to be happy. And like Lord Grantham says to Lord Sunderby in the episode tonight, he said, if you, if you love her, she will love you forever. So, I don't know. And I think Atticus is the same way.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good line too from Lord Grantham. I mean, that's a pretty deep understanding of who Rose is. I mean, she has no malice at all. Like, she's just
Childlike.
she's great, and she's smart. I think I'd never really given her much credit for intelligence and her ability to think on her feet, but what she does in the finale shows that she's pretty good at that.
I don't know how I feel about her brain power, but I feel like she's streetwise. I feel like she's become savvy by hanging out in the wrong places and with people who are that way. She has an emotional intelligence. Maybe that's it. She has a way of understanding people, probably. But
Yeah.
I was really glad, actually, that Atticus went through that whole little scandal with the hotel and the stag party thing. I was really kind of glad that he did that, because he's so innocent and naive, and he's been very sheltered. And I kind of have the feeling that he hasn't been, off in a hotel with somebody the way that Rose has been.
Yeah.
So I think that was sort of an eye-opener for him, that he needed to be a little more careful about wolves in the world, especially considering his position.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being wealthy, and everybody's going to want his money, and then being Jewish, everybody's going to hate him and want to take him down. So
Right.
But they're adorable, and I love how she saved the day. Oh my gosh.
That poor lady, though. I felt it's just so sad when somebody gets tangled up in something that, I mean, to have been brought into that situation by, I guess this was Thomas. It gets kind of tangled there, This was Thomas trying to get back at that, wasn't he? Isn't that right? Is this Thomas?
Right.
Thomas encouraged what's-his-face, Lord Cinderby's butler, to send a note to this lady that he had some dalliance with and has a child with, to call her to the house. And
that poor kiddo.
Oh, I know.
And Lord Cinderby, hello pot, this is the cattle. You're black. You know? It's like let's hear him talk a little bit more about divorce now.
Yeah. I know, right?
Let's do that. Let's go there.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my gosh. His poor wife.
Well, Cinderby definitely needed to be set straight on some things, and I think that was achieved. And now I think that Rose has an ally forever. So.
Yep. He better leave the whole estate to her.
Lucky for her. I mean, he's an only child, right? Atticus doesn't have any.
Well, there's Daniel.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I forgot.
If we're talking legitimate, yes.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know anything about the rules over there, and DNA is not quite up to where it needs to be at that time. So, okay, what else do we got? Let's talk about downstairs.
Downstairs.
Poor Anna.
Oh my gosh. That's just terrible. It's like, here we are again. Yeah.
No such thing as a victim's advocate back then, for one thing. My goodness
Why could
gracious.
she not get out on bail? And I didn't understand when they released her because Bates had given a confession. She says she's out on bail. Well, she should have been out, period. And she should have been out on bail long before that.
Well, they would have to, I think, have to try and convict him of it, even with the confession. Why she wasn't out on bail before, I think, came back to the fact that they had found on her record that, she had assaulted a man.
Her father.
Yeah, her stepfather for molesting her. So,
Which the
yeah.
charge wasn't actually on the book, according to Murray.
It wasn't really on the book, but there was some record of it. And so I guess they were using that as basis to think that she had done this before or had some, inclination to do that sort of thing.
That Viner's such a punk. It's like, I'm on the side of justice, but he's one, I just hope that he goes down in flames.
Now who? Which one?
Viner, DCI,
their local, constable or whatever, yeah.
for the guy from Scotland Yard.
Oh, okay. Is that who it? I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Viner, he's the punk. Sergeant Willis is the local bloke who's just has a heart of gold and will do anything for the Crawley family. But
well, really unfortunate for Anna. I kind of hate. I hate these jailhouse scenes. It bores me. And I think that they could do better things with these characters than constantly throw them in jail. There's more for them. I think that I really felt like this season was a waste of them.
Of the Bateses?
Yes. There's more to them than that. I think he trusts Anna more than some of the earlier storylines were letting on with the situation with Mary's birth control. And I don't know. I just feel like they haven't been really consistent with them, and I think they can do better things with them, and I hope that they do.
I don't think we saw Bates serve Lord Grantham at all this season. We didn't see any little chit-chats between them. I mean, in the dressing room.
Am I trying to think? I'm not recalling any.
We hear there's a lot of off-camera stuff going on. I mean, Rose's engagement was off-camera. Isabel's proposal, or her acceptance of the proposal was off-camera. There's all this stuff off-camera. Characters come back and tell us what happened. So I just don't remember seeing the two of them. And I know Lord Grantham's character has kind of had some downs this season. So he really needed Bates.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and I mean we haven't this is our second time to talk about this season so far. We've only been able to talk about it once before, and apologize for that. Super busy schedules and just that's the way life is. But yeah, I would say everything up until the finale, Lord Grantham, up until when his dog died. I think whenever Isis died, there was a little bit of a turn, but all that business with the painter, that was really hard to watch.
Was he suffering with his ulcer? Is his ulcer to blame?
I saw that you said that. Maybe that had been plaguing him all season. Ulcers are really bad. They can make you very cranky. So,
but you don't really get happy once you find out about him. But maybe he was just relieved to
maybe
know that
he thought he was
dying.
Yeah, maybe dying. I don't know. But I really did like him more. I love drunk Lord Grantham at the Christmas party.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
But he was trained as a soldier, so don't worry.
Oh my. That's good. Well, we have... Oh, I just have to comment. There was one moment, and I'm trying to remember exactly when it was, but I think it was maybe their first dinner, after they got back from the grouse hunt. So the first meal that they had at Downton, and they're all in the parlor, I think, gathering there for drinks or something. I don't know. The color palette was so beautiful, and if anybody knows what I'm talking about, I mean, the way the room was lit. They have that great green, some shade of green wallpaper, and then a lot of the women were in creams and melon-colored dresses, and all the guys, of course, were in black because they're in their suits. So, it was just so beautiful. I wish I could find a picture of it. I need to find that. You need to go back and look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it has a lot to do with the way they lit the room. It's
I
natural
will definitely
light.
look for that.
Yeah. Okay, so Daisy.
Dear Daisy.
Yeah. Where do you think?
I keep forgetting that she is Mrs. Mason. Every time I look at her, I just see that little face, and I was thinking about that while I was writing up last week's recap. I was like, she still acts like she's 2, but she's already a war widow,
Yeah.
On paper.
She is. On paper. Oh, I know. She's really sweet, and I want good things for her. I wonder, they made the suggestion maybe she'll write a cookbook. Those scenes have been really good too, because if you watch some of the things that she's been doing in the kitchen, she's really, really learning, and a lot of the things she's making are much more elaborate.
Like the wedding cake.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
All that icing. Oh my gosh.
Maybe Alfred will show back up. Oh, that would be great.
I don't know, but she was giggling over the new footman.
Oh, yeah. I watched a movie where he got shot in the head within, like, the first 5 minutes.
What?
Yeah, it was a really awful movie. I think it's called Good People, and it's starring Kate Hudson and James Franco. And I was in a really weird mood for a thriller, and so I started watching it. And then you find out that it's this American couple that somehow have the money to start, like, he inherited a townhouse in the middle of London. Okay, sure. And they're there fixing it up, and it would be so, so, so expensive to do that. But anyway, I don't know why there are American actors in the middle of this thing. Everybody else in it is British, and it's a waste of time. Do not watch it. It's terrible. And not believable at all. And I'll tell you more later. But anyway. Okay. So, who else do we want to talk about? We're kind of skipping around the big things. I guess saving them for last.
Yes. Let's see. Okay, I'd like to know how Danker is still employed.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And how they're keeping a woman on the show who clearly frequents either she's self-tanning or she goes to a tanning bed. Oh my goodness. Really? Does she look like that to you? It looks like she's tanning to me.
Her skin looked terrible in this episode. I just figured she'd been drinking too much and she was jaundiced or something.
That's kind of what I thought too. I was like, maybe she smokes a lot. and I don't want to criticize that if that's just the actress, but no, I think that lady has actually been in a warmer climate or is putting some self-tanner on.
Who even knows? Well, and she's a lady's maid, so she should be as pale as Mary. She's an indoor servant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's not gardening or anything.
No, that's the thing. She looks like she's been out in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's why I'll never be in any costume dramas, because I can't go outside without getting a tan. Amongst other reasons, but so I don't know how she's still employed, and I'm a little bit concerned about the color of that broth.
How yellow it was?
No, it was kind of white. The first look that you get of it, it's kind of white, and I don't know what you're putting in your chicken broth.
I don't know either.
I mean, you kind of want it to be clear. I mean, not clear, clear, but like it's a clear soup. It's not milky. It looked milky to me.
No idea.
I'm just worried. And do you think it actually tasted good, or do you think that the Dowager was just?
Well, she did watch Mrs. Patmore and Daisy fix the broth at
Hmm.
Downton.
Hmm.
So, and they explained it to her. So maybe, and it's not that hard. I mean, you boil water, you dump a chicken in it, you throw some vegetables in,
Yeah,
you're
it's not a
good.
big deal.
So maybe Sprat is thinking that he's expecting her to make pate or something, but
I don't know, but when she opened up the pot, she like swore. She was like, "God in heaven!" Like she. So I don't know, but broth doesn't really smell very good. I'd like to thank your doggies for the sound effects. I
I'm
think
so sorry.
no,
I do
I think
apologize.
it's not that bad.
He's trying to get our attention. He's very upset that I have spent all day long working on down stuff
Oh goodness.
instead of playing with him, which is why he got into trouble earlier.
Well, I think that that's what's up with mine too, because she was very mad earlier and was sitting staring at me and groaning. And do yours groan? Mine groans when I'm not behaving the way she wants me to. It's
They're like, how could you choose Downton over us?
I know.
And I'm like, how can you be a dog and not understand Downton? That is wrong. That's the one thing that dogs just can't do that I, wish for them that they could do. They should be able to watch Downton.
Yeah,
But did you see their picture that I tweeted?
I did. It was precious.
We had to have a little Isis moment. We had to mark a memory and make a little memorial for her.
Yeah, I guess they figured that they had to go ahead and do that. I mean, it only made sense. Like, why was the dog still alive? It was a really old dog, or would have been in the story.
Right.
Oh,
Well, I was hoping for puppies though.
oh yeah, yeah. Now I have
20-year-old dog has puppies. I mean, that's, Edith's paper could have run the headline exclusive.
to. Okay, I have to mention that my cousin Misty, who often chats with us and shares things with us, she sent me a really interesting article about how, and I had wondered about this, but basically, long story short, the breed that Isis is did not, well, if it existed at the time, it did not look anything like the dog in the show.
What does that mean?
It means, okay, whatever breed that dog was would have been like orange colored. That color did not exist in that dog yet.
Oh,
It
okay.
hadn't been bred into the breed.
So why didn't they get the correct one or change the breed of the dog for the show?
Isn't it just because that's the dog that's there?
Well, I'm sure any animal that's going to be on a TV show needs to have training and have a handler on set.
Oh, I
So
thought that dog was there because that dog was like one of the ones that lived there.
I
I
honestly
don't
don't
know.
know. I know that their dog, the Highclere dog, attacked the Downton dog, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Which is why the original Isis died or something like that. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
word.
Maybe I'm confused. See, I get so confused about the dog storyline. I have enough trouble keeping up with the people.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so that dog would not have been that color. And this article provided a photo of the king and queen actually had whatever. What is it? Is it a golden retriever, a lab, golden lab? I don't yellow lab. I don't know what these things are. Whatever it is, the king and queen had one at the time. And there's a
Okay.
photo of them with their dog. And
Okay.
it's like an orange color. Anyway, they hadn't bred the yellow into that dog yet.
Okay.
Yeah, just an interesting little fact that that Misty shared. So thanks, Misty. That was fun. Um,
Lovely little tidbit.
yeah. Okay, let's get to it. We have been waiting for 5 whole seasons, and it was really the best thing. It was, I mean, I think it was the best thing that's happened on this show in a really long time. And of course, we're talking about Carson proposing to Hughes. I, How did it make you feel?
Well, I I think that I'm a little bit weird because it's nice and I like it. I just don't I'm not quite as over the moon because I guess I just feel like they Mrs. Hughes is so self-sufficient. She deserves all the happiness in the world and I want her to be super happy with Carson or whatever choice she makes.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I feel like she's one of those people who understands happiness is a choice, and so she's made her own choices. She's made her own happiness. And so, and I know she gets frustrated with Carson, and I guess maybe I've just never really seen chemistry. I mean, I've seen friendship, I've seen brotherhood, I've seen camaraderie.
Uh,
I don't know that I've ever felt the chemistry between them, but
I
I
don't
think
know
it's
that that wouldn't make a good marriage, though, because I mean, like, that part, by
that's
often
true. That's
burns
true.
away.
It's almost like they're work married anyway.
Well, I
So
mean, it's like, yeah,
so why not?
in a way, I think that they're like perfect for each other because they've been around each other long enough. They know each other really well. I mean, they probably know, she at least knows what he's thinking before he says it. I doubt it's the other way around because he's a man. Um, and men don't notice anything. um, that's what the Dowager says.
Hmm.
So I think that they will be really great together. And if that only means that they have like 10 or 15 years just to enjoy being married to each other. Oh, I'm so happy because I think you're right. She is totally self-sufficient. She has made it so far in her life and I think she is happy with where she is, but knowing that, I mean, the fact that she can't retire and
Right. Right. And how many, I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, that's like, what, 75% of the viewers can probably relate to
oh
that?
yeah, I think that that's really relatable, especially for young people now, even the ones who aren't really thinking about it, like me. Um, it's just living paycheck to paycheck and knowing that you're going to have to do whatever it is that you do until you can't do it anymore. Um, and then dying cold and alone in a room full of cats. Um,
Those the best.
but if she could, I think she is, she is happy and self-sufficient, but if she could just be that much happier with him, I'm so glad. I
Yes.
and I
If
think he's going to take wonderful care of her,
He
and it makes me
better. He
very
better.
happy.
I mean, as long as she can put up with Carson's dirty socks and him being frustrated and all of that, she's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, she's going to find out how gross they are. Oh,
She's probably already doing his laundry anyway.
that's probably true. Oh, they're already married.
They are. They are already married. That's so funny. But they are so tender and so sweet and good natured together, and they both deserve a lot of happiness.
And he said he's not marrying anyone else. I love it.
Oh my goodness. You know what?
I'm dead
Maybe
over here.
maybe that this just occurred to me. Him taking so long, if this is how he feels about her,
Mhm.
him taking so long and waiting until like the 11th hour to propose to her.
Yeah.
Maybe he still had that hang up over that other girl, that hurt that he had from last season that
Could be.
she managed to work out and she interfered with and she made him reconcile
Yeah.
um with that guy. Maybe once he got past that and he could get over the past, maybe he started looking at what was going on around him.
Well, and he found out she was dead, right?
Right. And that she really actually did love him when he thought that she didn't. He thought that she was unfaithful and took off. And she did take off, but she regretted leaving him because he was her love.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm happy for them both. I think they both deserve it.
The truth really will set you free.
Mm.
Look at Granny. Look at Mary.
Oh, we got to talk about Granny. How have we not talked about this yet?
Princess Karagan is alive and as unwell as ever.
I like her.
You like her?
Well, I mean, she's unlikable. She's harsh, and
She's terrible.
I'm not gonna like annoy anybody with my Russian accent, but it's pretty good. Just know you're missing out. um,
She's a dragon lady. I put on the dress you left out for me.
luggage.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't need any luggage because she doesn't have anything to put in her luggage. But and she's so I
She's
don't know
like,
what to say.
you drug me back from Hong Kong for this? It's
Would you
like
rather be in Hong Kong? Really?
living in a cardboard box.
Oh, well, so drug her out of Hong Kong, brought her back, and basically the Dowager says, this isn't ever going to happen to Prince Karagan. Um, I found it so interesting that he still wanted it to happen. Like he was ready to run off with her.
Well, I wonder a little bit because I have a very mercenary soul.
Okay.
If in the back of his mind he's not thinking to himself, hard times have come on me. I'm doing the best that I can, but if I could possibly live out the rest of my days in comfort, I would do it.
Nah,
He is a man, and he is a royal, and I have this feeling that even though he's learned a lot and he's been humbled, he still has that piece inside him that feels slightly entitled. Because when he discusses his wife with Granny, he's completely heartless. And, I mean, it's fine, you want to act like Shrimpy and Susan, that's your prerogative. But, if you're really the bigger person, you're going to act like it.
I think the princess is beating him with like a frying pan at home. You tell me.
The way Granny describes her pulling her out of the cab.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was the best. And yes, we have to have this prequel. Oh my goodness.
That was so awesome.
I hope. Well, I have a feeling that's probably all we'll ever get of it. But the I had such a hard time. And everybody's young and everybody makes their own decisions. But knowing Granny as we know her now, I had such a hard time envisioning her leaving her children and
Right.
getting in that carriage and going off.
Right.
It was so hard to imagine.
This woman who has stopped at nothing to prevent scandal in her family. It's hard to see her being that self-centered and creating a scandal.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to know what was going on in her marriage. But then again, so we have the princess who drags her by her arm, her hair, everything out of this carriage to get her out and get her away from and send her in this cab back to the then Lord Grantham.
Right.
Oh. So she saved her, and so the Dowager saves the princess. Even though I don't think that the Karagans are going to have a very happy life.
No. Where do you think they're going to go? Are they going to go back to his little hole in the wall that he lives in, or
they're in town?
She doesn't have any money or anything for them to live off of.
I don't really know where most of the Russian refugees went after that. I don't know, but not back to Russia, at least not for. I mean, goodness, could they ever go? I don't think they could ever go back there. But yeah, I thought it was a good story, and I want to know more of it. I want to know the backstory. And we haven't talked about Molesley or Baxter, who worked wonders behind the scenes.
They are the dynamic duo of this episode.
They were really great.
I hope that they have really big plans for them next season.
She's a really good actress. I like her a lot.
She's lovely. It's like every time she moves, every movement she makes, it's almost like a dance. She's so graceful. She has this lovely way of speaking and moving. I love to watch her.
Yeah. She's good, and I don't hate him. Most of the time he really annoys me.
He's kind of like the downstairs version of Atticus, you know. He's not that bright, but he's got a really good heart. And as far as I'm concerned, he never has to wear the white gloves again.
Aw.
Maybe Hughes being in love with Carson will soften Carson and the rules will relax a little bit.
Maybe.
No way.
Okay, I can't see them removing them from the show, but I don't know how they're going to go forward with their plan to have their little B&B if they're both still employed at the house.
It will be after they're retired, or they'll
Yeah.
probably rent out the house while they're still working there, and then once they've retired, they'll do the B&B.
I think I would just like to watch the show about their B&B.
Yes, please.
Just that. I wouldn't care how boring it was. I think it would be great.
It's like the prequel to Fawlty Towers.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I hate that show.
I do too.
Okay, did we miss anything?
I think probably so.
I'm sure we did, but I don't know. I can't really think of anything right now. Oh goodness, Isabel.
Yes. What is wrong with her?
Well, I get it that she doesn't want to live in turmoil.
Slap that woman upside the head. Oh, please. The woman has lived her whole life in turmoil, creating turmoil for other people, and now she's backing down from a fight? Are you serious? Matthew would be so disgusted with her.
He would, but he'd also put those boys in their place and say that your dad gets to marry whoever he wants to marry. You don't have any say in it. But it is, I mean...
She needs to let Lord Merton do the fighting.
But he's not going to, and I think that's the problem. Because if these boys had any respect for their father, they wouldn't say anything like that. I don't know. I mean, they probably would, but, I mean, goodness, if my dad said to me, this is what's happening, and that's what's going to happen, then I'd probably be quiet. Or at least say, you know what, you're an adult, you get to make your decisions, and I'll make mine, and, go your own way. But, keeping people from being happy just because you're stuck on someone's memory or something, it's not very nice.
It's not very nice. They're punks. Well, I'm on Team Merton.
I'm still on Team Dr. Clarkson.
Oh, really?
Yes. That's my guy. I want him to come back.
Well, he's not even in the ring. He's, walked away from that fight.
I know, but it's because, Lord Merton, it didn't make any sense to me the way she just cast him aside. Because they did have something, even though it was just friendly. He likes her. He does like her. The Dowager knows it. I know it. I think they belong together. We'll see.
We'll see.
Oh, well, I think we have about covered it.
Okay.
Even though we saw, well, I guess we have Little Marigold and Edith. What will become of them? Will they move to London?
They're very loved.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to move to London.
No. I don't think she can get away with taking her to London without it looking a little bit fishy.
Right.
And I don't know, she doesn't want to leave her. I don't think she can bear to leave her there at the house because she misses her.
Right.
And she's so maternal. I don't want to judge the way that Mary parents, but I guess Mary matches more of the time or how she was brought up. But Edith loves her baby.
Well, I kind of see it as really almost more of a grief thing. I mean, Mary held on to George after Matthew died. Mm-hmm. And then once she started fooling around with other guys, it was like she was over the grieving and she was moving on and she was being pursued and she had other things to do. So she left him behind in the dust. And then with Edith, I've seen her as hanging on to Marigold because it's hanging on to the hope that Michael Gregson was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So now we know that he's not alive anymore. Now she's starting, we have this glimpse that maybe she might be thinking about other guys now. We'll have to wait and see. But like when she ran off to London, she left that child in the care of total strangers in a totally strange hotel. So, if it were me, I would have, I don't know how things worked back then, but I would have found a corner to stick her in at the newspaper and hired somebody so that she was within my sight.
Yeah.
But to take the child away from Mrs. Drew like that and then be so abusive toward her because she loved Marigold and was concerned for her welfare, and then she goes and dumps her like that. I was like, I'm sure she's doing the best that she knows how to do, but the depth of her affection, only time will tell.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's late.
I'm sorry, I'm boring you.
No, you're not boring me. It's late.
It is late. It was a long episode.
It was a long episode. I am looking forward to the next season. I feel like they should be winding it up, though.
I don't want them to wind it up.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the kind of thing that I want to see go on forever.
I love long stuff. Last of the Summer Wine went on for, 35 years off and on. Doctor Who has lasted for how many years and how many Time Lords. There's no reason why Downton Abbey can't go on forever.
I think that's America's fault, though. I mean, things like that. I don't, because we don't know when to let things go. Like, let it die. I mean, as long as if they keep the storylines fresh and good and everything, then okay, fine. But there's been some really stale stuff in this series, the whole thing overall. Like last season, I don't think I liked last season at all.
Well, last season dealt with some really hardcore stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess this is it. I do want to say that Outlander comes back in... Hold on. Let me check my countdown app. It comes back in less than a month now. So I have that to look forward to. And our dear listeners have that to look forward to as well. I don't know who'll be talking it with me, but I'll find somebody. I usually wrangle someone up. So, yeah. And I guess we'll call that good. But it's been fun talking.
One more quick thing before we go. Mm-hmm. As everybody knows, they end Downton Abbey right in the middle of the fundraising drive for PBS. So definitely go support OETA, the Oklahoma PBS affiliate, and if you're not in Oklahoma, support your own, but give them a call, see if they need volunteers, and give them a pledge contribution so they can keep Downton on the air for us.
Definitely do that. Well, okay.
Alrighty then. We'll see you guys next season. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you very much.
Yeah, be sure to follow us on Twitter and like our page on Facebook. Just Google our name. You'll find us. We're out there. And
I'm Jennifer at Jennifer White. And you are?
I'm Elizabeth at Elizabeth Mell. Elizabeth MELLE. Yeah, that's what I am. And ElizabethMichelle.com. That's where you can find me. You can find Jennifer at inwhichiblog.com.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's where all my recaps are.
Yay. All right. Well, we will catch you all next time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Happy Downton Day. Happy Christmas.
All right. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.